You have been very open, and I treasure the fact that you're bravely acknowledging that you've had infertility issues.
Yes.
I know it's difficult to do. So I'll leave it to you. What's gone on in the last 3 years that has caused issues for you?
Well, I initially I didn't know what the issue was. I got off birth control. I got married, and I was ready to start a family. And
Married Dwayne Wade, by the way.
Yeah.
Wonderful basketball player. Congratulations.
Thank you.
He has good taste in women. You should tell him that.
I remind him of that daily. But yeah, and I didn't think there was going to be any problem, and there was. So I was always having these early miscarriages, some from IVF, and some just naturally happening on our own.
How many miscarriages did you have?
Literally, that's why I lost track. It's somewhere like 8 or 9, give or take.
Oh.
Yeah. The first one was the most brutal because we told people, and we were so excited, and you dream of this moment, and those dreams were just crushed, and then they just happened in sort of rapid succession over the next few years.
How has this affected you physically?
Oh gosh, so with IVF, there's bloating, and the bloating can mimic, you can actually look like you are in your second trimester of pregnancy, which because, there was like bump watch, for like, 100 times, in the last few years, everyone's like, oh, she's pregnant. And really, I'm just bloated, trying to get pregnant. But the excitement just led to confirmation of pregnancy. And I'm like, there's no baby. And when it doesn't work, it can be absolutely devastating. And as women, there's so many women hiding in plain sight, suffering in silence. Nobody wants the world, which is what it feels like, the world to think that you're defective or less than a perfect woman or less than capable. And there's just so much shame and mystery and guilt that surrounds fertility issues. And that's why I wanted to include it in my book, because I'm tired of it. It needs to stop.
Well, you don't look very defective to me.
I'm not.
But I do want to ask you, though, it's a lot to go through. And even hearing you describe it, I think we all feel the pain in your voice. Why was it so important to talk about it now? Why not talk about it in 10 years when this is all finished and done? Why do you feel the urgency to be out in front of this?
Because there's no reason to feel alone. There's no reason to suffer in silence. There's no reason to feel like you're SEAL Team 6 getting to a doctor's appointment because you're afraid of what someone's going to say about a medical issue, which drives people further and further into the shadows, and you're literally suffering in silence. And I'm saying no more, enough.
It's the frustration you're expressing that I resonate to the most. I get it, and folks feel like they're defective. You use that word, and it's the perfect word. And it's so far off target of what's really going down. And it's remarkable that you've tackled it. I think it's not just infertility. You're doing this throughout your life. And you talk about it beautifully in the book. You have a very different perspective on balance, which caught me off guard, right? And I gotta say, we always talk about women needing to balance stuff out. Share with everybody your pretty passionate sentiment about this.
Well, when I noticed, I listened to my husband's interviews. He gets interviewed literally daily. No one has ever asked my husband, how do you balance it all? My husband has full custody of his kids. Like, he's got a ton of brands going on. He plays basketball. He's won championships. No one has ever asked him about balance because there's no expectation for a man to have balance. As long as you bring home a check, that is balance. And that's when I decided I'm not answering this question ever again. I'm going to find balance how I find balance, and some days there will be no balance. And that's okay.
Yeah, it is okay.
And that's what gave me balance.
That's right.
Trying to come up with some crazy answer about, well, I just take time and I do yoga. No, I don't. In those days, I'm just gonna sit in front of the TV and watch Stranger Things and eat a tub of ice cream. That might be my balance that day. Some days I work out. That might be my balance that day. And the fact that we let men off the hook, I feel we should let women off the hook and stop asking that question. Find balance however you feel.
Hallelujah.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on new videos to live the good life.